The Chinese never really had this kind of a state police system.
Was a CIA-funded program where they dosed up Johns.
Sometimes the scariest secrets aren't buried underground. They're buried inside locked government files. For decades, certain documents sat hidden behind classified stamps, sealed away where almost nobody could see them. But every once in a while, those files get released to the public. And when they do, the things inside can be seriously disturbing. We're talking about strange experiments, mysterious incidents, and discoveries so unsettling that many people still debate them today. Some sound almost unbelievable, yet they came straight from official records. So what exactly was hiding inside those documents all this time? Well, once the files were finally opened, investigators and historians started uncovering stories that were far darker and far stranger than anyone expected. And today, we're diving into some of the creepiest discoveries ever revealed after documents were finally declassified. 10. The CIA's mind control experiments. For years, rumors floated around about secret government attempts to control the human mind. But when certain documents were finally declassified, they confirmed something far more unsettling than speculation. In the 1950s and 60s, the CIA ran a program known as MK Ultra, where scientists experimented with drugs, hypnosis, and psychological techniques to see if they could influence or even control a person's thoughts and behavior. In some cases, people were unknowingly given substances like LSD during experiments. The goal was to see whether human minds could be manipulated for interrogation or espionage. Many records from this program were later destroyed, which only deepened the mystery. What remains in the released files shows just how far intelligence agencies were willing to go in the name of national security, and how little some participants actually knew about what was happening to them. Number 9, the Soviet dead hand doomsday system. During the height of the Cold War, both the United States and the Soviet Union feared a sudden nuclear attack that could wipe out leadership before retaliation was possible. When certain Soviet-era documents eventually surfaced, they revealed the existence of something chilling, an automated nuclear response system nicknamed Dead Hand. The idea was terrifyingly simple. If sensors detected nuclear explosions on Soviet soil and communication with command centers was lost, the system could automatically launch nuclear missiles in response. In other words, even if the country's leaders were gone, the retaliation would still happen. The system relied on seismic sensors, radiation detectors, and military communication checks. Though designed as a deterrent, the concept raised a disturbing question. What happens when machines are trusted with decisions that could end civilization? 8. Operation Northwoods. In the early 1960s, tensions between the United States and Cuba were reaching dangerous levels. When previously classified documents were released decades later, historians uncovered a proposal that shocked many people. Known as Operation Northwoods, the plan was drafted by U.S. military officials and suggested staging or simulating attacks that could be blamed on Cuba. The idea was that these incidents would create public support for military action against the Cuban government. The proposals included fake hijackings, staged acts of sabotage, and other deceptive operations designed to influence public opinion. Importantly, the plan was never approved or carried out. Still, the fact that such strategies were seriously considered left many people uneasy. The documents offered a rare glimpse into how far geopolitical strategies might go during moments of extreme international tension. 7. The British government's UFO files. For decades, the British government collected reports of unidentified flying objects from military personnel and civilians alike. Many of these files remained sealed for years, sparking speculation about what might be hidden inside. When thousands of pages were finally declassified, the contents were both fascinating and strange. The documents included eyewitness reports from pilots, radar operators, and ordinary citizens describing unusual lights and unexplained objects in the sky. Some cases were later explained as weather balloons, aircraft, or natural atmospheric phenomena. Others, however, remained unsolved. The files didn't provide evidence of extraterrestrial life, but they did reveal how seriously some sightings were investigated. They also showed the challenge governments face when trying to explain events that people genuinely witnessed but couldn't fully understand. 6. The Tuskegee Syphilis Study. One of the most disturbing revelations to come from declassified documents involved a medical study conducted in the United States during the 20th century. Beginning in 1932, researchers observed hundreds of African American men who had syphilis, but the participants were never properly informed about the nature of the study. Even after effective treatment became available, the men were not given the medication. Instead, researchers continued monitoring the progression of the disease. When details about the study eventually became public, the reaction was immediate outrage. The files exposed a profound ethical failure within the medical system and sparked nationwide discussions about human rights in research. As a result, major reforms were introduced to ensure stricter ethical standards and informed consent for participants in medical studies. Number 5, the Pentagon's secret surveillance programs. When certain intelligence documents were released over time, they revealed the scope of surveillance technologies used to monitor potential threats. Some programs focused on intercepting communications, analyzing patterns, and collecting vast amounts of digital information. Officials argued that these systems were designed to prevent terrorism and protect national security. However, critics raised concerns about privacy and how much information governments should be allowed to gather about their own citizens. The declassified files revealed how technology had dramatically expanded the ability to track communications across the globe. While some programs were eventually scaled back or reformed, the revelations sparked a worldwide debate about the balance between safety and personal freedom in the digital age. 4. Operation Paperclip. After World War II ended, the United States faced a difficult decision regarding German scientists who had worked on advanced military technologies during the war. Declassified documents later revealed a secret program known as Operation Paperclip. Through this effort, the U.S. government brought more than 1,000 German scientists, engineers, and technicians to America to work on military and aerospace projects. Some of these scientists had previously been connected to the Nazi regime, which raised ethical concerns about the decision. However, U.S. officials believed their expertise could provide a major advantage during